We're in York today, so this garden room's going to be 4 metres by 4 metres. The customer's got a concrete pad, so if you've already got a concrete pad, you might be interested in watching this build. We're going to try and utilise the concrete pad for our build, because obviously this customer's is 2 metres tall, so we're limited with height as well, so we want to get as much height as we can for this build. So internally he's got as much. The pad is 3.6, I think it's 3.7 front to back, so what we're going to do, hopefully we're going to use this pad. We're going to get a laser on it when we drop this. We're going to put a row of rods in there and a row of rods on there and come off his pad as well. So he's got this summer house, which to be fair is in pretty good condition for its age. It's sat on composite. Ooh, it's floating on composite blocks there. What we're going to do, we're going to strip this down. I guess years ago then, this is the kind of thing we might have been doing before garden rooms came around. But it's got bifold doors, a little more than one finger action, but they could be eased, I suppose. And it's got an attached store as well, which for all intents and purposes is pretty much like what we do, isn't it? Garden room with attached store. So we're going to take this and get rid of this and improve it with a modern, nice, beautiful looking one. So that's it, concrete base. I'll show you what we're going to do with that. Once we've stripped this, we'll get the laser out and we'll see how level this base is. Now, I know this base is 8 inches thick because the customer did it himself, so we're actually going to use this base, whereas we've never used a base before, because obviously we can't guarantee the thickness of the base, but the customer's assured me that this one is 8 inches thick or thereabouts, so he's quite happy for us to build off this and utilise this. It's going to have a corner window profile as well, so the bifolds will all slide this way. There'll be a fixed panel there. At the back there of the room there will be a letterbox window with an opener on, and at the side here we're going to cantilever the roof out a little bit and put a screen on there as well. So it's something a little bit different, something nice. It's getting to that time of year and all where everything's damp and everything's wet and everything's cold, so I'll also show you how we're going to try and protect this build from the elements, because the drying out time's a lot longer at this time of year, and the condensation build up, which, can you see that on there already? Look, it's starting to come, isn't it? But obviously when you build one of these, there you go, when you build one of these at this time of year, the timber's wet, the plasterboard's wet, it takes a lot more time to dry out, and you do get a lot of condensation running down the windows. I'm going to show you how we're going to try and prevent that and try and keep everything dry as we're building it. Right, we've demolished the customer's old summer house. He did tell us this pad was sufficient, and it proves to be sufficient. It's square as well, you can see there we've set a square on it. It's also level to the millimetre, so what we've done, we've put the staff on like that, we've gone round and we've checked it. I'll just show you now. And then when we walk round the pad, you see there, it's hitting level all the time, so there you go. So the pad has been put down by whoever put it down. They did a good job, and it is level. So the only issue we've got now is the pad isn't big enough for what we want to build on. So what I'm going to do with that, I'll just show you now how we're going to get around that pad. Was it 3.6, Adam?
Yes.
Right, so you just come over here, I'll just show you. So if that's the pad there, but we're looking for a 4 metre build and it's 3.6 by 3.6. So what we're going to do, we're going to extend the base but not the pad. So we pull 2 string lines down there, which are 400 beyond the pad. So what we'll do then, we'll put our pile system in as we normally do. There'll be 5 on the front because that takes the weight, and then there'll be 4 on the side. So that will then expand the base. And how we're going to do that, if that is the pad there, the existing pad, so we will then put a 4x3 that way and a 4x3 that way, which will then give us 4 metres by 4 metres. And what we'll do then, we're gonna put a damp proof membrane on top of that concrete pad to stop any moisture coming up through the floor. The customer's 2 metres tall, he's quite a tall chap, so what we're going to do, we're going to give him maximum height. So rather than lift this off the ground, we're going to put our DPC on it, then we're going to build our frame directly off of there. But because this is level, and it's solid, we will be putting our timbers all the way across like that. So they will be 4x2s, which will allow us to get our 100mm insulation in. And then when we get to the side there, we're going to put the timbers like that, very much like a roof, so that all the timbers are completely supported and there is no need to put our sensor cross members in, which we're going to do away with at this point. But what we will do, we will put noggins in these just to stop any twisting them timbers at a future date, which they're not going anywhere, because once you've got your 100mm insulation in between them, they're not going nowhere. So that's how we are going to increase our 3.6 3.6 concrete pad to a 4 metre square pad, which will give us our build. So that's what me and Adam are going to do now. We're going to dig these holes and then we're going to get the concrete ordered and get our rods in. So on this occasion we're using the customer's concrete pad, and we will put in 9 rods of our own spec, and that will give us our sufficiently strong 4x4 base. Right, so there's your 3.6 by 3.6 concrete pad. We've extended it to make it 4 metres square. We've got 5 holes on the front. That will enable us to carry the weight at the front of the building, which will also have the steel, the doors and the roof. And then 4 down the side. There's relatively little weight on the side. So that is how we're going to then utilise this concrete pad. Like I say, it's 3.6 by 3.6. It's perfectly level, well, within a couple of mil here and there, so it's absolutely fine. So if you're interested, if you try to use a concrete pad and you're happy with the strength of it, which normally we're not, but the customers told us that we're good with this one. It's got nearly 8-inch concrete on there, so we're going to use that basically. So we've got 9 rods. John will concrete these in tomorrow, and then we'll be starting building Wednesday, hopefully, if the weather holds for us. If you'd like to subscribe and follow, and I'll try and do little short updates on this one for you as we move along.